Good evening, and welcome to another video on All How That Out. Tonight we are going for a tasting session from the Tiny Rebel 9th birthday box. Which two is it? It's these two. It is the Gin Sour and the White Russian. And the point of this video is not to compare the two and contrast them and see which is best. It's just to taste them both side by side and just sort of give them a bit of a bash, really. So let's start by talking about the Gin Sour. It is a 6.2% ABV citrus gin sour. And it really doesn't tell us much on the side of the can, other than the fact that it contains some interesting ingredients, which are juniper, pink pepper, coriander, lime, lemon as your flavourings, alongside the usual water, malted barley, wheat, oats, and hops and yeast. So I expect a bit of a citrus banger there. How sour will it be? We'll find out. I appreciate a good sour, but we shall see. And the White Russian is a 5.2% coffee cream ale. That one right there. And this one does contain, apart from your water, malted barley, malted wheat, oats, and hops and yeast, it does contain lactose as well, and coffee and cacao butter. So, well, we're going to pour the White Russian into the 9th birthday glass, this one. And we're going to start there. And then we're going to pour the gin sour into the stemmed glass, just so I can keep them separate. So, the White Russian pours pale. It is pale. I can smell a bit of coffee coming off of that. So we have a pretty clear golden beer with a relatively tight white compact head. And it looks all right, doesn't it really? It looks all right. Let's have a whiff. There is a hint of coffee. So pop that one down and pour the gin sour and see what we think of that one. I'm pouring that one into the Tiny Rebel stemmed glass, and this one pours also pale. I don't expect. Oh, it's quite murky. I'll give it that. And for a sour, that's got a surprisingly good head. I've never really had a sour that retains a head for more than 5 seconds. But that looks a really nice beer. It's cloudy, and there's a bit of light coming through, not massive. And it's got a nice white head for a sour. That looks really, really nice. Have a whiff. And get the juniper. And get a bit of the lime. Smells all right. So, as part of this tasting session, we're going to give it the 5 pillars of judgment, as always, which are the looks, the aroma, the body, the taste, and the finish. And you can see we're going to have them side by side. It's not a comparison to see who wins or loses. Like I say, it's just a way of getting 2 videos into one. And so the aid memoir from Untapped says there's been 1,544 check-ins on the White Russian, 1,319 on the Gin Sour, with very similar average scores of 3.66 and 3.7 respectively. And that's quite high for Tiny Rebel, I think. So let's start with the White Russian, because it is the smaller of the beers by way of ABV. So we've already had a good look at it, and we've had a bit of a whiff. So we can smell the coffee, but let's go in deeper. We can smell coffee. There's hints of chocolate. There's hints of... It's quite a sweet chocolate in the background. Wasn't expecting it to be as sweet as that, but it is nevertheless. Let's have a little taste. It's not bad. So let's go for the White Russian. The Gin Sour. So we've said it looks great, and it's still got some head on it, which for a sour I think is incredible. And the whiff was quite clearly juniper and lime. Smells really fresh and zesty. Let's have a taste. Big lime. Big lime. Not bad for a first sip. So let's start with some scores, shall we? So let's give it the looks. So the White Russian, like I say, it looks all right. The head has pretty much gone. I mean, we've got nucleation points at the bottom of the glass, and it is feeding a little bit of carbonation up. Um, I thought it looked all right. You know, it's not perfect. It's not as dark as I was expecting with it being coffee. I was expecting a little bit more depth to the colour. But on the whole, it's a pretty decent looking beer. Is it perfect? No. Is it very good? Not really. Is it average to good? Yeah, I'd say it is. So I am going to give the White Russian the half on the appearance. I'd like it to be a bit fuller, a bit more murky, which is where this one, the gin sour, really did surprise. I was not expecting murk. I really wasn't. I was expecting more clarity, like the White Russian, and the fact that we've got a really good-looking, tight, compact white head. See if you can get that there. You see how tight and compact that is. It looks great. Didn't expect it. It's spot on. You know, it looks like the kind of beer that is inviting and makes me want to drink it. So I'm going to give it a full point, which I didn't expect, I'll be honest. As for the aromas, the White Russian, like I say, coffee, sweet chocolate. There's almost something berry-like just coming through. Smells like the flavours I would more expect in a stout or a porter. And on a beer that looks like this, it's quite a surprise. I like it. Do I like it a lot? I think it's pretty good. It is pretty good. I'm going to give it a 0.75 on the aroma because they are tickling my pickle. If it was a bit darker chocolate, it'd have got a bit of a higher score. As for the gin sour, it smells zesty. It's fresh. It's inviting. There's no hint of acidity that you get from the sharpness with the sour. Just big zesty lime and the juniper. It's not, although I describe it as big zesty lime, that's the dominance of it there. It's not overly strong. Somewhere about the middle. But I like it. Now, there is one criticism I'll levy about the lime. And it probably is real lime. And let's go back to the can just to double check. Yeah, lime. Real. It says lime, so I expect it to be real lime. The way it's combined with whatever else is in here, it lends that slight aroma of toilet cleaner. And whilst that sounds like a negative, it's nice, fresh and zesty and all that jazz, and I like it. I'm going to give it the same 0.75. So yeah, the body test. Now, the White Russian, like I say, it's got oats, it's got lactose in it. It has got lactose in it, yes it has. And the body is evident. It's got the feeling of a stout. It has got a very nice body to it. It's smooth, it's thick, carbonation's spot on. Can't fault that at all. It really is excellent. I'll give it the full point. And the gin sour, again, it's got excellent body to it. It's more than medium. It's slightly effervescent. It's really good. Really good. It's another full point. Can't fault that one. Excuse me, it's trying to fault me though. And the taste. So the White Russian, obviously, coffee, chocolate, creamy. That's what you expect. And you get it. It's more like a latte type coffee thing with the chocolate. It's a smooth milk chocolate type flavour. It works. Again, it's confusing because you're looking at a beer of this colour and expect it to be kind of fruity and tropical, whereas now you've got flavours that you expect in a dark beer. It's not a pale ale, but it is quite tasty. It is sweet. I'm not getting a massive hop hit from it at all, and I'm not getting much in the way of the malt, but the chocolate and the coffee, they work nicely, they play nicely together. How good is it though? Well, I like it, not massively. It's tasty enough. I'd drink it again, absolutely. I'm going to give it the 0.75. Now, the gin sour. This one, it's described as a sour, and there is a good amount of tartness to it. It's not pull your ass up to your elbows sour, so it's going to get some points for it being a good level of tartness. The lime and the lemon, they are, like I say, dominant on the flavour. That is what you get the most of. The juniper, although you can get it on the nose, it's really kind of sitting right in the background of the flavour of the beer, though. Otherwise, it's really light and refreshing. The lime reminds me of those chocolate lime sweets that you get as well, which is kind of artificial tasting, but thank God it doesn't taste like Domestos. I like it. How much do I like it? It's decent enough. I would drink it again, but I wouldn't rush out and drink it again. I'm going to give it the 0.5 on the flavour front. And the finish. On a pale ale, I'm normally looking for hops and longevity and a good malt backbone to back it up. This is not a normal pale ale, so I'm kind of out on a limb. The flavours I expect from a, like I say, a dark beer, like a stout or a porter. So I'm going to kind of gauge it more like that. I want the roastiness. I'm not getting roast. I'm getting coffee and I'm getting chocolate, and it's a sweet chocolate. It's a sweet finish overall, and it's moreish. Absolutely moreish, but a little too sweet for my liking. That, to me, sadly, is the worst bit about that beer. I'm not sure how to score it. I'm not sure. I'm going to give it a 0.5. It's decent enough, but again, it's confusing to my head. Now, the gin sour, I expect it, excuse me, to be kind of a almost cloying type thing to a sour. I expect that. I expect it to be sharp, dry, and generally quite sort of bitter, if you will. And this, it's sharp, it's dry. There comes some juniper. It's the first time I've had a big hit of the juniper. Dry, sharp, palate cleansing, maybe slightly. Cloying, yes. Do I like it? I do. It's refreshing on a hot summer's day, which we should be roughly about having by now in May. Instead, it's pissing down. That would go absolutely brilliantly. It would keep you on your toes and alive. Whereas in this weather, I'm looking for more of the White Russian kind of finish, sort of sweet chocolate malt. But there's not enough malt in that. But that's another story. It's good. It's summery, but we're not in the summer, and I don't want it to let that affect my scoring of it. But I'm going to call it a 0.5 as well, because I just want a little bit more dryness from it. So, like I say, we're not doing direct comparisons, but let's tot them up. What we got? 1.5, 2.5, 3.5 on the White Russian, and 1, 2, 3.75 on the gin sour, which, you know, that kind of reflects the average scores that I gave. So the gin sour was slightly higher at 3.7 than the 3.66. I've pretty much hit them roughly on the mark. So, yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. I know my wife liked these because I bought her the birthday box as well. And from memory, I think she enjoyed the gin sour more than the White Russian. Same as me. Got it written down on a pad somewhere. I will edit it in roughly at this point in the video. I'll put a little text bar at the bottom just to remind you of her scores on these ones. So, yeah, there we go. Anyway, I enjoyed these. I would buy them again. Not in a massive rush, but they are quite tasty. And it's nice to have something a little bit different, which, let's be honest, we can guarantee Tiny Rebel like to do different. And that's why I keep buying the birthday boxes. Their kind of core line is experimental, shall we say, sweet and overly so. It's nice to have something in the gin sour that's not quite so sweet. It's a little bit exciting, whereas the White Russian kind of plays to form, and yeah, fits the bill. It would work nicely as a flavour profile, Tiny Rebel, if you're listening, in your Stay Puft line. So yeah, coffee and chocolate. There we go. Anyway, I'm at the point in the video where I'm going to start waffling. So I'm going to say those have been the beers. I've been me. Those down there are the buttons. You know exactly what to do with them by now. You got like, comment, dislike, and subscribe. Do let me know in the comment section if you've tried these two beers and what you thought of them. On that note, I will catch you again soon for another one.